Hey guys, and welcome to the next section. So in this section I thought it would be cool to show you guys how you would go about making a simple MuzzleFlash effect. So this is what it will look like in the end. Alright, so pretty cool effect. So we've got the single shot and we've got the assault rifle. So I'll show you guys. It's not the most advanced way, but it's if you're like busy with a student project or just for a fun video, you don't have to know a lot with this method. It's a very simple method, but it does look at least convincing. So let's get started. Okay guys, so once you've dragged in your footage and you've got everything such as your sound effects that you're going to use and the MuzzleFlash, which you can just find off YouTube or by googling, just obviously make sure that it's free to use. So we're going to come, first of all we're going to zoom all the way in here because we're going to be working frame by frame. So zoom in real good, and then we'll come to where our first MuzzleFlash will shoot in right around here. So as I pull the trigger, the MuzzleFlash should come around that spot there. So we'll drag in our MuzzleFlash and then set the blending mode of it to screen. Alright, and then just rotate it into place. That looks good. And if you need to scale it, then do that as well. So I think right there should be good. So pull the trigger, the MuzzleFlash comes out, and then there's the smoke. You can actually add extra smoke effects where it's the smoke on its own that stays on screen for a bit longer. That also looks quite nice. So we're also going to take our sound effect. So mine is the pistol sound effect for this one, and you're going to drop down the audio and drop down the waveform, and then make sure you're lining where it's sparking up like that. That's where the audio is actually playing. So we're going to cut the beginning section off there, and you're going to line up the gunshot. So where the waveform starts there, got to position that exactly where the gunshot MuzzleFlash is. Okay, so the sound will play right there. So let me just play it out quickly. Okay, awesome. So now we're going to create a new a new solid layer. Okay, and then just go ahead and click on the color here, and we're going to pick a very bright color. So perhaps like a very MuzzleFlashy color. Okay, and then just click OK, and when we're going to now mask out what areas should be lit up. Okay, so just so we can see, we'll just drop the opacity down to about 20, and we'll start with the ellipse tool, and we'll just drag a nice big one over just make sure it's over the MuzzleFlash. Okay, and if you have to move it, just make sure you move it with the top portion there. Alright, so that area should be lit up, and then we'll feather it out as well. So just drop down the mask and feather it out. Alright, and then we can draw as well where it should be lit up. So like here along the couch, because I just did this in my living room. Okay, so that part should be lit up, and then we'll just feather it out. Okay, and then you just go ahead and just mask everything. So say the underneath of my hoodie here should be lit up as well. You can just click like that and then feather it out as well. Alright. Okay, and then just set the blending mode to add. Awesome. So that looks pretty nice. What also you can do is you can add like a glow effect to the MuzzleFlash if you wanted to as well. One thing we're going to do just to make this blend in a little nicer, just go ahead and duplicate your video and drag it all the way to the top, and then just type in hue and drag over the hue saturation and put the master lightness down to 0. Sorry, not the master lightness, the master saturation. Okay, and then go ahead and take the brightness and contrast, drag that over as well, and then make it, I'd say about 40 and 60. Right, and then turn the visibility for that layer off now, and for the masking layer that you added, put the track matte to illuminate. Right, so I'll just blend everything in nicely. Okay, and then just go to your mask layer and then just drop it down, go one frame before you shoot, and then just keyframe the opacity at 0, and then as you shoot you can keyframe this up to around, I don't know what looks good, 25, and then maybe 2 or 3 frames in, put it back to 0. Right, so it flashes and then it fades out there a bit. Okay, so what we can also do is we can add a little bit of blur to our layer. So we can add we can add a motion blur. That would look pretty nice. So we can just add a motion blur to our video, so that when we shoot and our hand moves faster, it's going to blur it out a bit. Okay, so let's see what we have so far. Alright, so that's the basics of creating a MuzzleFlash. So if you want to do it for like an assault rifle, you would pretty much do the same thing. So we would come to the point of where I shoot, but this time we would keyframe, we would add an object and motion track, so the MuzzleFlash gets tracked along my barrel. So we'll come to the point of where I shoot it, and we'll come and drag our MuzzleFlash in here, and we'll just scale it up. Okay, set the blending mode to screen, and then we'll just rotate it. Okay, so about there. Okay, and then just drag it to the point of where you shoot it. Okay, so I'm gonna leave mine here. And then what we're gonna do, we won't mask every frame of this one, but we are going to add our null object. Alright, and then go to the video of what you're shooting. So for me it's this assault rifle clip here, and then we're going to track the motion. Okay, and then just make sure that the target is the null object that you made, and then we'll come and track that point right there. Okay, so we'll do this one frame at a time. Oops. So from here, I'll zoom in and just move it to I need use my phone camera for this, so it's very blurry. Okay, just move it to where your barrel's supposed to be. Okay, you guys should be very comfortable with this. So just analyze forward and move it to where it's supposed to be. So you'll just carry on doing this for the duration of your how long you're firing for. Okay, so then we'll do that short burst for now. So just drag this up and then just apply it to the null object. Right, and then take your MuzzleFlash and make the parent the null. So now we've got that burst and it's staying with our gun. Okay, so at this point we don't fire anymore, so we can take the MuzzleFlash away. Okay, and then just our sound effect, which we'll drag in and move it over, drop down the waveform. So here is the point that it shoots. Okay, so now we might have to add 2 of these sound effects. So let's just see here. We'll add 1 and we'll drag another one over to about here. So there's a sound effect for this burst and a sound effect for that burst. Alright, so let's see how that looks. Okay, just rendering it out quickly. Alright, so I've actually got 2 shots here. So all we would do is quickly just duplicate our MuzzleFlash here and our sound effect. Okay, and we'll move this over to where our second shot is. So right around here, just move that over, and then we can just position it. Okay, I completely forgot that there was a second shot, but the SMG assault rifle one came out pretty nicely. Alright, so that's the basics of creating a MuzzleFlash. So you would obviously then, for the assault rifle, you would add some lighting that flashes. So the same thing we did with the pistol, but you would just make the keyframes a little bit shorter and then maybe the lighting a little bit brighter and having it overlap each other. So the faster you're shooting, the faster everything flashes. Alright, so I hope you guys learned something out of this, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye.